Hello.
Recording in progress.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. You're welcome to today's. You're welcome to today's event. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You want to take some time out and let's see how we can actually fill this room up. Hello, good morning. If you're joining us, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. We're actually streaming live on different channels. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Get your friends and family, get anybody that you know you would want to um, be a part of this amazing event. Yes, get everybody you want
Recording
to
stopped.
get in here, get them on. We are streaming live on YouTube, we are streaming live on Instagram, and we're streaming live on other platforms as well. Get everybody in the room. Amazing, amazing day is going to be. Um, let's know where you're coming from. You can utilize the chat. We do have um, the chat that if you want to, send us a message on the side. We'll have professionals that will be answering those questions for you. Get in the room. Get in the room. Get in the room. Okay, we're going to be starting in a couple of minutes. How is everyone doing today? I know the energy is high. How's the energy doing today? Let's get in the room. Let's get in the room. Amazing, 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 amazing time to be alive today. Amazing, amazing. We're going to start in a second. Just give me some few minutes. Let me get some more people in the room, right? So try to be your brother's keeper. Get people in the room. You're not here to just be here all by yourself. We came here to learn something. Give me a second. Get people in the room. 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 Give me a second. I am actually doing some technical stuff right here. I see some watermark. It's not supposed to have a watermark on the screen. Get in the room. Get in the room. Get in the room. Let's get this party started. Okay. If we can see me live on other platform, let me know. If you can see me live on other platform, let me know. If you can see me live on other platform, let me know before we begin. Okay. If you can see me live on other platform, let me know. Let me know. Let me know. We're going to start in this little while so we can bring home value. And from time to time, we're going to have amazing professionals come on here and talk. This is going to be more of it's going to be more like a workshop where everyone comes up here and we do what we have to do just to make sure that we drive home some value and we deliver some value to every one of us that are coming in here or everyone that is in the US of A, right? So having said that, today is a wonderful day and we don't take this day for granted. We don't take this day for granted. Let me see the channels that are on. Okay, so I'm actually see if I can reconnect on Facebook and then we can begin. So, the topic for today, for those of us that are already here or connected here, the topic for today is very simple. Yes, so I think we are. Um, let's see, are we connected to Facebook? We're almost there. The most important thing we're trying to do today, or what we're trying to achieve here today, is to see how we can actually impact our society. So, like I said, I'm going to be starting um, this conversation. I'm going to be starting this conversation in a little while, in actually some few minutes. I'm just trying to make sure that I am visible on most platforms. I see a watermark on the webinar. That's why we have to do this, so we can have a clear recording on other platforms as well. So if you on here and you have my information, you can chat me. Um, we call that channel two. You can channel to me to say, hey, we can see you on other platforms. The aim is to give value. The aim is to give value. The aim for today's stuff is to give value. Okay, so I'm gonna begin today by saying good morning, everyone, wherever you're joining from. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, you're watching on Facebook, I was trying to log on Instagram, but we can always put some clips on there. My name is Helen Orejobi. I'm a financial professional, and I realize in helping high income earners protect their money, control their wealth, and sleep better at night. Guess what? It's been life changing for me and some of the amazing, individuals, amazing professionals, amazing licensed professionals that will be coming up in subsequent episode. We do this every Wednesday, 7 p.m. and every Saturday, 10 a.m. Now, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? It's simply because, guess what? We know high income earners make so much money, but guess what? Why are they not keeping money on them, right? And I know you have friends, family, you have uncles, aunties, colleagues, neighbors, people within your community, in your church, that do make a lot of money. But why you want to stick on to this episode till the end, I suggest you go ahead and grab a paper, grab a pen, grab a paper, because whatever I'm going to be talking about is going to be very, very, life changing. It's going to be something that will give value to you, right? Now, the reason why you haven't seen me online, most of you have been saying, what's going on, is because I'm currently, in a phase where everybody at some point will have to go through. I recently lost my dad, so officially I'm an orphan. So that's not an excuse, but the reason why we're back here is to give value, right? For those that are alive, is to give value. So you want to get your friends and family right now before I start. And don't forget, grab a pen and paper. One or two things that I would say might be something that will drive value or give value to you, that you want someone within your community to know about. So having said that, I want us to quickly go ahead and begin this conversation, right? Why should we do what we're doing? Why should you listen to me today, right? Why should any of your friends or family listen to me today? I know if you have the cure to cancer, right? Because guess what? Cancer is very, very, invasive. Once you hear that, hey, that there's a lump somewhere, your blood pressure rises up. So if you get to know the cure to cancer, would you keep it to yourself? That's the reason why I said get people in, share this link, get people on the live who are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube right now, right? Guess what? I work with people who earn good money. I'm talking about business owners, talking about professionals. We're talking about people who look successful on the outside. And what I've learned so far in the years that I've been licensed to do what I'm doing. By the way, I do have a background. My first degree is in business management from the University of Sunderland, in the UK. And my second degree is in IT. I have a master's in IT, information technology here in America. And I've worked with professionals across board. I'm talking about doctors, lawyers, you name it, IT professionals, you name it, right? What I have seen in the years that I've been here, licensed and talking to people, privileged to sit with people on a call, 30, 40 minutes, and sometimes with my business partners, my fellow colleagues in the business, we have seen that, guess what? Most people look successful on the outside, and what we have learned so far, you want to know what you've learned so far? Is a lot of people are doing well, but don't feel safe. That is a very, very subtle issue that has been happening. Most people don't want to talk about this, but guess what? They are one problem away from stress, right? And they don't talk about these things, right? So before we go further, I want you to answer this honestly. If you're on this call today, just in your head, right? Or you put it down in your notes so you can go back and answer if you don't have the answer right now. If your income stopped tomorrow, tomorrow is the today that you have not walked into, because as we're in today, yesterday we said we're going to see tomorrow. So tomorrow is yesterday's, promise of seeing today. So the question now is, not because you're lazy, not because you failed, because guess what? Life happened, right? Life is something that you don't have control of, right? I was saying the other day, we have control of a lot of things in life, but guess what? You didn't control the day you were born, and you're not going to control the day you leave this earth. Most things you can't control is if you fall ill. You can't control what happens, because there's something about principles in life. There's a principle that says everything that goes up will come down. That's a gravitational principle. So the only way to go against the principle is to understand, right? If certain people are following different routes, if this is the route, even scripture says that not all roads lead to salvation, right? Most people follow the crowd. Everybody's doing what other people are doing. You're not taking time to pause. This is 2026, January the 9th, if I'm not mistaken, January the 10th. I don't want to take us back to yesterday. We're in today. We're in tomorrow, right? That tomorrow you're waiting for is not next year. We're already, some people say, oh, Helen, when I get to 2026, I'll do X, Y, Z. Now we are in that tomorrow you promised yourself. So you want to make sure you are tapping into what I'm saying. I will give value as much as I can, but we're not here to sell you nothing. We're just here to sensitize you by means of education. How long would your life stay normal? That's what you want to ask yourself today. Are you going to wait 1 month, 3 months, 6 months? If you were to stop working, that is the question. If income was to stop tomorrow, remember, I already gave you the definition of tomorrow. How long would your life stay normal? When I mean normal, I'm going to break that down. Normal means where you are. Normal means you can still do the things that you're supposed to do right now without being scared. Normal means that you're not going to go knocking and getting scared or thinking where your family is going to get their next meal from. If you just laugh nervously or say, because guess what? High income earners, they think, in the African way, we say, oh, they she, right? Nothing do me. I'm protected. Most of us that are on this side of town, that we believe God answers everything, but God still allows certain things to happen if you're not learning. If He gives you an open door, not all doors are closed, right? I take that back. Not every door that seems closed is closed by the enemy. Sometimes those doors might be closed by God because He's trying to teach you a lesson. So if you have been opportune to come into wealth, or to have an income producing asset, or to have a high yield or a high professional skill set, tell you what, you need to understand that not only you know how to make money, you should also know how to protect. That's why you see the subject line today says you need to protect, right? Your income, your asset, your legacy. You need to learn to grow wealth strategically. You need to control cash flow, and you need to reduce unnecessary exposure. This is what we're going to be dwelling on today. It's going to be amazing. Like I said, do not get carried away. Do not try to blink, because if you blink, you will lose the flow, right? Here's the biggest myth I see every day, right? Every time I sit with a high yield or a highly skilled personnel, someone making above 6 figures, guess what? What I see is people think making money means they're okay. I just have the skills. Some people think it's by their certification and their degrees, right? The reason, if you're a diaspora, you're an immigrant in the diaspora, the reason why you left the comfort of your home country, or whatever, where you're coming from, is simply because you came here to seek greener pastures. Right now, coming here, it means you were highly skilled. Most of you had degrees, you had, thermometers or whatever the case may be. And then you decide to come over to the Obodo Ibo, where you feel that, oh, that this is a land filled with milk and honey. You can go pluck money from the tree. The simple thing that I'm saying right now to you, I'm trying to stay on cue so I don't miss anything, is that you came here to exchange value to get paid. Now, value, if you give value, you get paid. But if you don't give value, you're going to stay broke. So now I don't want you to forget the reason why you came here. Most people have been here 5, 10, 20 years. And if they're not checkmating themselves on doing an audit to know why they're here, you get carried away with the waves. Some of you might end up in the wrong side where you get to regret. The other day I was talking about the 8 regrets you don't want to face, right? Some people spend their youth, their time when they should be working and doing the wrong things without saving. Now, guess what? The reason why you are here is making money is not the same as controlling money. You can earn 6 figures and still be one interruption away from panic, right? High income makes life comfortable. It doesn't make life predictable, right? Things are fast changing. Jobs feel as safe as they used to be. Is that so? I'll tell you that in a different way. Jobs don't feel safe anymore. You have a job today, you're panicking. You're trying to look, especially for those of you that have multiple jobs, you have three or four screens in front of you. If you know, you know. I don't want to mention the sector. Now, the reason why you get multiple jobs is because the job market is very, very toxic, right? You're on a job, you're applying for another one just in case this one goes off. You have some buffer to be able to do stuff. But what are you doing with the income that you're making from multiple streams that you have the opportunity to have? AI is doing work, right, that used to take a whole team. But now, in just seconds, AI can deliver that job effortlessly. Now, what is going to happen in 5 years? What's going to happen in 10 years? What's going to happen in 20 years? Are you thinking or are you thinking, right? People are waking up to messages that say your role is no longer needed. This is real. This is real. Not because they had a bad day or they're bad at what they do. No. Because world system, there's a really, really rapid change going on. If you don't look at the news like me, I don't like talking into the news, right? I always get the news from third party and they're like, have you heard what's going on? I'm like, what's going on, right? If you don't want to, be on track, right, with what is going on, and you're still in 1980s or in 2026, when 2026, 2018, you want to be current, right? And trust me, your bills didn't move, any slower. They are going at the same speed. We call them fixed. These are fixed commitment that you have to make. The real problem isn't losing income. The real problem is when money gets stuck, accounts get delayed, right? Maybe if something happened. You see what happened a couple of weeks ago where the federal had to stop. A lot of people were panicking, even the federal. You see what I mean? This is no more private. Paperwork take long time for them to figure out what happens. Decisions slow down, but life keep moving. Your friends keep winning, different things happening. But a lot of us, especially with the African culture mentality, we don't like to share information, so we hoard. Now let me go get information. So you need to share this information. Get people in the room. I need to see more people in the room. On the webinar right now, we have over 300 people on the webinar. We need to see more people on here. This is when families start making decisions they never planned to make. This is where my work comes in as a financial professional. I help high income earners protect what they've built, right? I help them create plans so they, so that whatever happens, right? Income may slow down, different things may happen, income may even stop, or your income may change. But guess what? Life doesn't fall apart. Not fancy plans. We're not trying to make big plans right now. We're trying to keep it simple, smart, and intentional, right? That's what we're trying to do on this call. So today is about telling you something. It's not even about selling it. It's about educating you and tweaking your mind, because if you are a high income earner, you are smart. So I'm not here to demystify what you already know or to tell you that what you know is wrong, but I'm here to show you a different perspective of what you haven't seen or what you haven't heard or what you are not privy to see because you're blindsided with the income that you have right now. Go figure out how many of your friends and family are actually suffering. Most people are going through foreclosures. Most people have lost their homes. Most people are in hard times. If you don't understand, someone said something the other day that last year, 2025, was the David era, right? This year is the Solomon's era. If you want to know what that is, David era was full of struggle, strife, resistance, struggle and all that. But Solomon's era is when the father set things aside. What you're coming into is a season of plenty, season of rest. But if you don't position yourself right and do the right thing, you might still be in the David era, right? So it's about understanding. We're going to talk about real life examples, real reasons income stop, and the real tools family use every day to stay on track. So I'm going to be showing you two families. We'll be illustrating that. I'm not showing you any slide. This is not, I told you, this is not a presentation where you say, oh, those people have come again. No, I'm going to your home. I'm actually in your living room right now, sitting on your kitchen table and bringing down this information to you to the level that you can understand it. We're not using any industry jargon here. I'm driving home a point so you can see two families and two decisions that they took and see which place you place yourself, or you figure out, oh, I have a neighbor, I have a friend, I have a family member. Which family, are they? What family bracket are they in? Are they in family A or family B? Right? They make similar money, but only one survives when life hits, because life is going to hit you, right? I want you to stay with me. Nod if you can. I know I cannot see you, but nod. For those of us on Instagram and YouTube, nod if you can, right? I can feel the energy, right? I want you to stay with me. Guess what? Type yes, right? If you're live on YouTube, type yes, right? If you're live on YouTube, type yes. If something is familiar, because guess what? We're going to be going real deep, right? We're going to be going real deep. So I want you to understand, this conversation is not about being rich. It's about not being broken by one unexpected moment, right? So stay with me, because by the end of today, this morning, right? By the end of today, I'm going to be running very fast. You will know exactly where you stand and what you can do to protect your family, right? So right quick, what I want to say right now is, guess what? I want to talk about real life, not social life, not highlights from your real life, from your reels or Instagram or other social media noise, not the everyday life, fine life that you feel life should be. I'm talking about your real life. Like I told you, I'm in your living room right now, right? Because real life is expensive, right? And guess what? It's getting more expensive by the day. Food costs more these days, if you don't know. Gas costs more these days, if you don't know. Rent costs more, if you don't know. School costs more, if you don't know, right? And most people feel, even if the ones, that you are in that bracket, like I purposely segregated or segmented my market. Why I'm talking to you is because you are the one that needed the most, right? Someone says if you're already down, you can't fear being down. But if you're up, I told you, law of gravity. If you're up, the fear is real. See what I mean? Here's something I've learned working with high income earners. A lot of people are making good money, but they don't feel secure. They look successful on the outside, like I said, but inside, there's this quiet thought that they say, if something happens, this could get uncomfortable fast. Let me say this clearly. That feeling doesn't mean you're bad with money. It means you're not paying attention. We've been taught to focus on one thing, which is income. That's why you came in on this continent. You came in with high energy because if you're from my side of town, we have high energy. We talk big, we live big, and all that. We have this audacity. That's why you see what I mean. You meet an African, you meet a Nigerian. We have this audacity. But put the audacity to work and make sure that you leave something behind and you stay without getting mixed with the crowd. Get this job. Let's go get a job. Let's grow this business. Let's make money. We're making money this year. Guess what? That works until it doesn't, because income is not guaranteed. Income is not guaranteed. Job changes, company change directions, businesses slow down, health happens, life happens. Nobody wakes up and plan to have a bad year. No, bad years just slowly show up. Here's the part most people don't like to think about. When income stops or slow, even temporarily, bills don't slow down. I repeat that again. Your bills will not slow down. Your mortgage does not care how hard you worked. No, your car payment doesn't care that you are a good person. Maybe you were constant. You were meeting target. You're paying your bills as a when due. Your kids' schools don't, they don't accept explanation. For those of you that live in good neighborhood, you don't even need to pay. It's what I mean for good schools. Your kids are privileged because you pay taxes in those neighborhoods. This is where your stress comes from, not from lack of effort, but from lack of margin. Margin in the space between, right, what comes in and what goes out of you, right? Inputs and outputs. I was saying something the other day. You need to be tuning in, coming on Wednesday. Someone's going to talk to you about something different, right? You know how to make money, but do you know how to grow that money? When the space is small, pressure is high. And here's the mistake I see over and over and over. As income goes up, lifestyle goes up. Bigger houses, nicer car, more subscription, more commitment, more people depending on you, both home and abroad. Money doesn't disappear. It just quietly, gets assigned. If you don't plan for your money is already assigned to something else, right? And none of that is wrong. All we want to do is live well. The problem is when something becomes fixed. I told you, fixed bills do not answer to no income or zero income. Fixed lifestyle, fixed responsibilities, because fixed bills don't bend. They don't bend. They don't answer to, okay, we'll go see them tomorrow. This is not Africa. This is America, where things work, right? Things work here. They don't care if income purses, right? And this is why I always say this. Making money is not the same as controlling money. Write that down. That is a gospel for you. Controlling money, you got to be skilled and it has to be strategically done. Who has set with you to design your money? Nobody's telling you they want to take money from you. How many times have you gone to sit with a professional to design your money, or you're leaving your money to default, right? You can earn a lot and still be fragile. You can look successful and still be one interruption away from stress. And here's the truth: most people won't say out loud. High income earners often have less to lose because more people depend on them, more bills depend on them, more expectation, and people look at you from a different lens. They look like you, like big boy, big girls, ballers. Now you get that in your head and you get carried away. This is why today's topic matter, not because something bad is coming, but because life doesn't send you signal warnings, right? Life doesn't send you signal warnings. What we're going to do next is simple. We're going to look at two families, like I said, making good money, look successful, but only one can survive if some income stop. If anything happens, the difference is not luck. It's not in you calling, or how good you can speak in tongues, or how well you pray, or how good you give money, or whatever, do your social, whatever. It's in your planning, because even scripture says that, have you seen a man diligent in his way that will not sit down and plan, right? You can't go out and start building without planning. You can't build a house without you having a BOQ, right? Getting someone, a surveyor, to sit and tell you, oh, this is what it's going to look like. You start building without a plan, you're already planning to fail, because the foundation, one wrong mixture of foundation, maybe the cement or whatever, the wood or the concrete or the casting, will not be able to carry you. Start building just anyhow, and then you later in along the line, as agile people will say, you now come back and say, okay, let's go back and add 10-story building on a land or a foundation or a DPC that could only carry one story. You're already failing from the start, right? Now, guess what? Take a deep breath. Pull out your pen. We're going to go very practical. And I want you to understand this. This is not about judgment. It's about clarity, right? Let's talk about family A right now. And I want you to have value. Picture this. Remember, I am sitting by you right now. All right, let's get into family A. Family A is not irresponsible, right? They work hard like every one of us, right? They do what they're supposed to do. They make good money. But guess what? From the outside, people look at them and say, these people are doing well. Like, I wish to be like them. Let's say family A brings in about 12,000 a month. That sounds like a lot of money to some people that don't even make up to 2,000 a month, right? Most people say, if I made that much, I'll be good, right? And then guess what? Because it's predictable income, because you have a steady flow or source of income coming in. But money coming in is only half the story. What really matters is what goes out. That's why I'm going to break it down, right? Real example of what you're doing right now. I want you to listen carefully. Can you pick up your pen and write, right? If you want to go back and pause this video and write out the things that I'm going to say and put your actual figure in there, you'll be able to dime yourself and do what we are supposed to do with you. And when you come and speak to any of the financial professionals that we have over 100 and something of them within my organization. And guess what? They're going to sit with you for 15-30 minutes to look at what you have and show you, can we put this, that they help you to plan right. Let's take your mortgage or your rent. You're making 12,000, both income from spouse, right? Husband and wife, right? And that's about 3,200. You have 2 car payments, about 1,400. You have insurance, which is your health, your car probably be your life insurance for those of you that are smart and savvy and you know what you're doing. That's about a 1,200. And then you have phone bills, you have internet, you have cables, you have streaming, which is about $300, right? Because you're a big boy, you don't look at the numbers. You just say, let's have everything, let's go all out, premium dollars. Some of you are paying for streaming services you haven't opened in 6 months. Now, let's look at utilities. We're talking about your light, your water, your gas, about 450, right? Your gas could also be the gas for your car, right? Now, gas, okay, let's take that back. Gas at home, basically. Because you live in a big house, you put on your lights, put on your everything, your electricity bill might be high. So about 450. I was sitting with a doctor and he told me he's got a bill of 1,200 somewhere in Katie. I'm like, man, like, what are you doing? Is that somebody's rent for your electrical bill? What do they do? Is it constant? But guess what? That's the life of big ballers, right? Now, gas and transportation will put you around $500. Your school for your kids, childcare. If you, for those of you that have children and you pay, childcare services or tuition for some of you that pay a little bit extra. Let's say it's about 1,500, and your minimum debt payment that you take out of your accounts to pay down your credit card and every other debt you have is about $600. I hope we took down that number. Now let's get right here. There's already 10,000. That's already 10,000 you already spent. And we haven't even talked about your enjoyment, because guess what? You make so much money, you want to look nice now. Won't you buy perfume and all those things? Won't you eat out? Right? Now let's talk about the real stuff that you forget to count, which is your enjoyment factor. The big boyism or big girls, things that you do. Eating out, taking out food, going out to eat. Let's say in a month, that's about 800 if you go with your family, right? Your clothes, your shoes, your hair, your grooming, let's put it around maybe 400 if you're not shopping every month, but you want to buy a nice item. Let's say, let's leave it around 400 a month. Helping families back home, events and giving, and random things that always come up. So that's helping your family. Maybe like put it like 300, and then if you spend money on random things like 300, right? Family A is spending close to 14,000 a month. But guess what? They make 12,000. This is how people making good money still say, I don't know where it all went to. Because the money is creeping. Everybody's taking. I put a video. Go look at my Instagram. I put a video that people are getting paid every day. Who is paying you? You are paying everybody. You woke up today on this call. You're going to listen to me. You paid the people that, the paste, the Zip McLean or Colgate or whatever the company, the brand company, the brush, the soap, the water. You paid electricity bill. Everybody has gotten paid except you, but you are handing. That's how I said, you know how to make money, you know how to hand money out, but you know how to get money back in, right? Now, let me explain why this matter. Everything in family A's life is fixed. Fixed house, fixed car, fixed bills, fixed responsibilities. Fixed means it doesn't move. Immovable. Should we go and look at the definition of fixed? It doesn't care if income is slow. It doesn't care if work changes. It doesn't care if life surprises you. Guess what? Here is the scariest part. A family A is not failing. They are just living at the, at the edge. See, let me bring my temperature down. I don't want to be shouting, right? Now imagine income stops, not forever. Let's just say income stops temporarily, right? Job loss, company downsizing. These are income creeps. AI replacing that role that you think you have. You're a big boy in the company, they can replace you. And most of you are training your replacement currently. They'll tell you, oh, we have some new people come out. You will train them, they'll take over. Right? Because maybe you're charging too high. They want someone that they can lowball and get in there. Business slows down, health issues, burnout. Your bills do not stop. Mortgage still shows up. Your car payment still shows up. School still wants their tuition. Every other person is taking from you. Food still needs to be bought. Your children will eat, right? You need to do haircuts. You braid your kids' hair or whatever the case may be. Family A starts reacting. Credit cards get used up. Savings disappear. Retirement gets touched. Asset gets sold. Stress shows up, not because they did something wrong, but because they didn't plan for an income interruption. High income, with high fixed cost is fragile. It's like you carrying an egg, right? You're very careful. Make the job no loss. So more they put on for time, more they pray, more they do this. Guess what? High income, high fixed life is fragile. They just assume high income would always be there. And this assumption is what puts most family into big problem. So the question that I'm asking you today, let me still look at my time, is do you know anybody? Let's even leave you. You are doing well. You are savvy. You know everything. I talk to people like, oh, I got that covered. I got this covered. I do this covered. Until something happens, you don't got it covered anymore. You don't got this covered anymore. Put pride aside. This is education. I'm sitting right in front of, that's why I'm whispering right now, because I'm sitting next to you and I'm asking you deep questions. In 2026, this is the Solomon era. People that are well positioned, people that are strategic, they won't make mistakes. They won't get to that moment where life happens and they're looking left, right, and center because they've been prepared. Who has strategically sat with you to design your life, not by default, but by design based on your family dynamics and your specific, goals in life. Everybody's got a goal. Most people came here to just, make money and buy wigs and buy, designer stuff. Some people came here to make money, build empires in Africa, go back and do whatever, or whatever country you're in, right? With everything happening in the economy right now, with them shutting down, when you see what is going on every day, laws are changing. What are you doing? What are you doing if the laws were to change against you? My daughter said, well, what if he goes south? I'm like, girl, what is south? For an 11-year-old to tell me, what if he goes south? He pulled me back a minute. And I'm like, what does go south mean? What if everything goes south for you? All right, take a breath, right? Now let's talk about the other family that I mentioned, family B. Family B is not perfect. Oh, they are not millionaires. They didn't win lottery. They just make a few intentional decisions. Family B makes similar money, like family A, around 12,000 ish a month, right? Because maybe they might be in the same profession or whatever the case may be. So this is not about earning more. We're still thinking about with the same income. Same income, $12,000. And it's about using money differently, putting on a different lens. How do I use this money in a different way that I can grow this money and I can have a better impact? Family B asks one simple question early on. Maybe they start with a professional like you and I, or they were educated enough. The reason why you have to get in the financial industry is not because you want to tell your friends and family to join the industry. That's the myth people don't understand. It's for you. You want to get in so you can learn more. You don't want to sit with anybody 15, 30 minutes. I show up 30 minutes or 1 hour and you meet somebody to talk to you 30 minutes or 2 hours. They take money from you and that's it. But you don't know how to manage your money. It's about the control that you have. Get in the driver's seat and control your life. That's why you need to get in and discover things for yourself. Once you come in, it's like an onion situation that every layer exposes different things that you will never get to know, right? What happens if income stops? Not if we mess up, not if we fail, but if life happens, because life happens every day to everyone in different dynamics. The Bible didn't say that you will not face tribulation. He only said that whatever the case, whatever your but, whatever your wilderness situation, whatever the challenges and the struggles you're gonna face will be, he has given you the capacity to withstand it and to come out on the other side refined. But what lessons are you learning? Most people have gone up and down. You're like a pendulum. You go up, come down, go up, come down, come, and you're not learning from it. You're just you're doing. Please pause and tell yourself, what did I learn? Even if it hadn't happened to you, my friends and family and different people, right? What did I learn from their stuff? You don't want to learn the wrong way. Learn from other people's mistakes. Job changes, business slow down, health issues show up, technology replaces your role, people get tired, burnout is real, especially for people carrying everyone else. If you're carrying everyone else's problem, you're not Omega, you're not Alpha and Omega, you're not God. When burnout comes, you will not realize those people have their own problem. That's when if you're not careful, resentment comes in. What do I do with my life? Now, family B still lives in a good neighborhood. They still have good life. They didn't move into a box. They didn't go to a hideous place. They just didn't turn every raise into a bigger bill. Remember, fixed income, fixed bill. Mortgage, maybe they decided, you know what? Mortgage, let's go for 2008, right? Because your first house is not your last house. Wisdom. Instead of you buying that house that you're paying 6, 8, someone told me my mortgage is around 9,000. Smart. But are you a business owner? Are you able to write off that stuff? That's why you need to get in the game for us to teach you. If you're earning so much and you like the lifestyle, guy, try to write off most of these things, right? There are loopholes in the law that you're not tapping into because you're not financially savvy. You know how to get paid because of the skill set that you have, that you give value to that job or to that clientele or to that whatever. And then that skill set you exchange gives you the income you get, but you didn't know what we know. That's why we're professionals. We're licensed. You can't talk the way I talk right now if you're not licensed. It's a criminal offense to say most of the things that you're going to get, not on this call, on a one-on-one with any financial professional that invited you on this call, or you're listening to me, or you watch on another day, you want to book, just hit the DM and ask, hey, I want to get this, get in. The reason why we have the license is because we have the mandate, we have the license, the authorization to talk about certain things we cannot put on air, right? One car paid off because you're smart. A reasonable payment of 700. Insurance about 1,100 ish. Phone, internet, utilities about 600. Your groceries about 900, because if you have a family, trust me, children eat. Different things happen. If you're African, we eat well. We eat well. Eat well. Eat your money. Eat well. Your skin, your health to, be intentional about what you eat. Don't blow out all your life savings eating. Your gas and transportation is 400. School or childcare is about 1,002. Subscription trimmed to 100. Family B spends about 9,500 a month. They still enjoy life. They just left some breathing space. Breathing room means choices. What are the choices you're going to make in 2026? What if one income drops? My madam cannot work due to a health situation. How is one income able to still sustain the household? Calm means better decisions. When you are not stressed, you don't make desperate money moves. When you are stressed, you can sell even your head. Go figure out what happened. Somebody sold his birthright because of stress, pressure, right? You will sell what can help you in future, what your children will take. Don't get to that point. Now, this is where family B really separated themselves. They planned for income interruptedly, right? They had simply design in place. Why they cut down on all this frivolity and all this, lifestyle creep and all that. I always tell people, once you make money, that is seed. Your money is your seed. What you do with the seed, you put seed in the ground. And what happens with the seed that goes in the ground? The seed gets to be decayed and all that. But guess what? Why it's being decayed? You're watering it and doing all that kind of stuff. It grows down. It takes root down, and then guess what? It starts sprouting up, and then once it comes up and it blooms, you now start tapping from the fruit. You can never run dry, right? You can never run dry. The Bible says, I'm like a tree planted by the streams of water, right? You can never run dry. But if you carry that seed that looks like one tintin did something, somebody did something a couple of weeks ago, right? They brought when the Bible says that as tiny as the, what seed did he mention? For those of you on here, right? That he mentioned mustard seed or something. It's very tiny. I picked it very tiny, like a tiny ball. It's very, I can't even, I think next time I'll have to get one, right? I'll have to get one. And that little tiny itty bitty stuff can actually bloom to be a big tree. Now that's why people go plug. Most of you are sitting on shade somebody planted back in the days. Why won't you be the one that owns that shade? When, if anything happens in future, your children will be so glad. So what family B did, they diverted. That's why it's called reallocation. When you sit down, you look at all this expense and you tell yourself, this money we're getting now is God's grace upon us. The Bible says this year is a year of open heavens, right? It also says it's a year of open doors. We're talking about Revelations 3:8 and Deuteronomy 28:12. Go read that. But most of you will not come into that because you are still using your seed though as your bread. You're still using your seed as your child. You're still using your seed in the wrong way. Now, they went ahead and they sat with a professional like myself and any of the amazing champions that brought you on this call that you need to go after this call. I'm going to wrap up in 15 minutes or less, right? You want to get back to them and tell them, hey, I need to transform my seed. It doesn't matter how tiny my seed is. Let's see what my seed can do for me. They went in, they sat with someone that did a design for them. They got different things, which is financial tools that can help them. Most people, when you hear this, and they say, oh, my village people. Right now, I'm telling you, I got a payout for a client and a friend that was ill. She didn't think she was going to be ill. She got a payout of $258,000. That's life changing. How many of you can make that money in one day? One day. Because she decided to get a design by me 3 years ago, right? It was a struggle, but she decided, I'm going to reallocate this side of my funds because I understand that this income coming in is a seed, right? Now that seed has germinated, right? So most people say what the enemy meant for evil, God turned it around. God turned an illness into something like a fortune. Now the only problem she has now is, how do I save this money? How do I put this seed back in the ground to grow so that my children's children. By the way, this person is a single mom of two children, 13 and 11. She's 47, like you and I. She's African. She's in Houston, right? Life example. She just got protection. Didn't have enough money, right? I don't want to talk about that. Whoever is going to get with you on the call is going to sit with you and tell you what that looks like. Now they got what is called a TEM, which is income replacement, a TEM policy temporarily. Right now, I'm working right now, I'm exchanging my skill to go get income. So the first thing you want to do in your design portfolio is go ahead and get you a TEM policy. Family B had a TEM policy. That means if income stops today, Helen, what you are saying to me is, if I get a TEM policy, if income stops today, right, checks still come in because the money, like the lady got, it's income. Guess what? We live in benefit. Your check still comes in. The house stays. The kids stay stable. They're not going to a different zip code, to a rough neighborhood. You know that I just need to focus and get well. But that income still come in. That $12,000 that family keeps bringing every month still stays coming in because they have what is called a fixed expense, right? Nobody panics. Number two, they went ahead and they got a cash value life insurance, money you can reach. Family B had a choice and they picked right. This is about not dying. I just gave you an example of a lady that is alive and she got a payout in her lifetime. Most of you are eating the money that you should use. You are spending. Somebody told me, oh, this money is bare money. I'd rather eat now. When you sick, you'll not be doing GoFundMe. The reason why most of you are not seeing me do GoFundMe is a shame. My father passed on. I watched him go sick for 6 years, struggling after my mom passed. That's why if you are a man and you love your wife, or you don't pretend you don't love your wife, when anything happens to your spouse, it will affect your health. If you're not planning for your retirements, story go enter. That's a story for another day. I don't want to go there, right? I don't want to go there. Right? This is not about that. It's about your access to cash. Money that you can reach if job changes. Money that you can reach if business slows down. Money that you can borrow from, that you can reach if bank tightens up, right? Guess what? Because your bank is using your money, it's called fractional banking. Write that down. Go figure out what that is. Or come on the call, ask the financial professional that will sit with you. What is fractional banking? What does a bank do with my funds? When I give them my money, I put my money in a bank, right? Most of you don't understand that there's something regular savings account, that there's a high yield savings account. That is a lecture we're going to teach you when you come in the community. It's like having a backup plan that doesn't argue with you. You just know when it's time to make money or take money to keep my lifestyle going. I just go to the bank and I get my money on my own term, right? Guess what? Stable income options. Family B also plan for stable money coming in. So it's no one's, if guess what? If income slows, another doesn't, affect each other. This keeps emotions from making money decisions where you get to sell everything. You worked hard. You've been in America 5, 10 years, 20 years. You will now liquidate and sell. Somebody will now come and be pricing your thing like beans or like akara for you. Final expense planning. Most of you sitting here, you say, oh, I don't need final expense. Uncle, most of you want to be buried in your mansion in Africa. Do you know the price or the cost of flying a body? Go and ask people when you go to those funeral or those wake keep, ask them stylishly, right? I know most of you are big. We have 10 minutes to wrap up, right? Family B also handles the small but stressful stuff like final expense. You want to figure out if something happens, nobody's scrambling and running around to try to figure anything. Nobody's borrowing, nobody's fighting during a hard time, right? We're trying to figure this in out. We'll make it work. And then guess what? You need to put things in place, like having a trust in place to make sure that you have your power of attorney, your health directive, so that they don't go and come out your lungs now and say they're using for experiments. You want to say, if anything happens to me, this is what, madam, uncle, get on a call. Stop trying to stand on the fence. Stop thinking you know too much. Most of those financial professionals you see out there, they're after your money. They're after your money. They don't educate you enough. That's why you get on something that is not the right design. And after a while, if income hits, the first thing you go after is your coverage, your policy, instead of you saving, instead of you doing so, join or get on a call with professionals. If you don't know one, I told you I have over 100 of them, well trained, they know what to do. Get on a call with them and they're going to do justice and make sure that they do right by you, right? Not by their pocket, right? Now, guess what? Family A had good income, but no plan. Family B had a plan even before they needed it. When income stops, family A reacts, family B responds. Reaction is panic, response is control. You gotta be in the driver's seat. Income is temporary, planning is permanent. Income is temporary. Planning is permanent. I don't want to repeat that thing again. You see, in the Bible, when they repeat something, that means it's emphasis. Income is temporary. Planning is permanent. Family B didn't avoid problems. They avoided chaos. And that makes all the difference. Now, here's what this is personally to you. Because the question isn't about family A or family B, which is better. That's not the question. It's not about who house big, who car big. Most people that you see on high, whatever, they are running on empty. The question is, which one looks more like your life right now? And what can you do about it? Right? What can you do about it right now? What can you do about it right now? Right? Now, this is the part that I really want to hear you say. Jobs are changing faster than people can adjust. Companies are cutting roles quickly. Businesses are restructuring, and a lot of very smart individuals like yourself are being caught off guards. Not because you are lazy, not because they're lazy. No, no, not because they're irresponsible, but because things move faster than their plans. Let's talk honestly about AI. AI is not something that's coming someday. It's already here. It's been here. And if you go to India, Japan, go to China, it's been there. They are even ahead of us in the Obodo Ibo right here, right? It's already here. They're changing stuff. It's writing your emails. It's answering customers' phone calls right now. Don't you see it? It's taking your job. No more receptionists. People are using AI, cheap money right now. It's analyzing data. It's even analyzing you, your behavior every day. It's doing work that used to take a team. So what if you were displaced? What is your fallback plan? And when technology gets faster, when jobs disappear slowly, when they disappear suddenly, one day you were part of a team, the next day you were part of history. Don't be a statistic. Here's something real people don't realize. High income earners usually have high fixed bills, big houses, more responsibilities, more people depending on them. So when income slows, the fall feels harder. The most dangerous assumption people make: it won't happen to me. I'll see it coming. I'll adjust in time. God's got my back. Oh, there she, right? We're covered by the blood. Figure out the blood you're covered. Is it blood of your ignorance or blood of Jesus that has given you wisdom? That's why it's the same God that gave knowledge in all you're getting. See, money, right? In life, right? Guess what? We have different things that make people rich. Your time. What are you doing with your time? Time is a currency. We have 4 types of currency. Your time. The second currency is the knowledge He has given you. He said, in all you're getting, get wisdom and understanding, right? And then the third currency is money that you're running. So most people run for the third one instead of working with time. Time is not waiting for you. Now you get the knowledge. Now you get the money. The last currency, which is a bonus, is your faith. If you have faith without applying most of this thing, at least try to go figure out how to get or work with someone that knows how to get the other 2 or other 3. You will now scale. Most people don't see it coming. It shows up as an email or in a meeting or on a phone call. Did you see the email or the Zoom that they brought people on the Zoom and they sacked all of them? They fired all of them. Waiting feels responsible. Waiting feels calm. Waiting feels safe until it isn't. This day, the 10th day of January 2026, is showing you that the year is already running. Waiting works great right now until life interrupts. Income no longer is a one-track system. For a long time, families were built on one idea, one major income. One income shows up every day. The world is changing. Income is becoming less predictable. Get multiple streams of income. Get someone that invited you on this call. Figure out why a lot of us are jumping on here. I just told you, I gave you my background, my first degree, and I told you my second degree. Most of you are still going for third degree, fifth degree, master, PhD, all this degree. You go born. Figure out how to make money when others are sleeping. right? By understanding the money game, get in. You don't have to be a financial professional, but if you want to, you don't even need to be doing what I'm doing. That's why a lot of people were referrals. They send business other people's way, right? You say, you know what, I have a friend that I think will need this information. Just because you got a license, guess what? You get paid. That's extra income that you can use for saving. Stop being a secret agent. Share the information. You have the cure to cancer. Go ahead and share it, right? Guess what? It's not about fear. It's not about flexibility. It's not about giving yourself time. It's about time to think, about time to adjust, about time to make smart move, to buy your time. Told you about time. That is number one resource that you need, right? Time when income stops, time when job changes, time when life happens, right? I have 4 minutes to wrap up, right? So guess what? Go figure out, contact someone that was on this call that brought you on. Ask them, what does peace of mind really looks like, right? What does peace of mind really looks like? Let me say that slowly. The goal is to ask them, what does peace of mind really looks like? You want to be in control. There's certain things, strategies that I teach people. If you're getting into a high income earning, or you're just making money, 6 figures, your best bet is not going to buy a house. Right now, Trump said something yesterday about reducing credit card rate. Everybody's excited and all that. It's going to make a lot of people get into debt because you don't have that structure. You don't have the education. You don't have the discipline to maintain other people's money, because other people's money, right? We want to teach you how to be in control of what they're doing. The same thing they're doing, be your own bank, right? Figure out, write these things out, ask that professional, right? The goal is not to be rich. The goal is not to stay, is to stay. The goal, right? It's not to be rich. The goal is to stay calm while, everything is going eta scatter. The Bible says 1,000 shall fall by my side and 10,000 by my side, but it will not come near me. It's only wisdom that will not let it come near you, because some of you are standing on a shaky rock or a shaky foundation. The goal is to protect your family from panic. The world is changing fast. Jobs are less certain. Income is less predictable. Costs are high. Waiting is a gamble. Don't gamble on your life. Oh, you see, most people in their dying bed, or when they grow older, when it's now the night time of their life, the greatest regret that I see them, I've sat with a lot of people during this annual open enrollment. I spoke to over 300 retirees. I saw the regret in their voice. I told him my father recently passed. I saw the same regret. If I knew what I know now, I would have planned for my future, because future don't wait for you. Illness can creep in. Different things can happen. Laws can change. You can be even exposed to a mitigation. How are you controlling your asset from being taken from people that are waiting and calling say, "Oh, they wait, making they make money, they come, we go catch them." Because of the mistake you made today, they're waiting for you in future, right? Now let's see this differently. The question is no longer, does this matter? The question in 2 minutes is, what are you going to do with this information, right? So, all right, so that is it. Because we started this call, we started about maybe 10 minutes late, but guess what? Today has been amazing. It's been awesome. If you know you learned something, go ahead and leave me something in the chat, or DM me, contact me, contact the person that invited you, and let them go ahead and schedule something for you and look at your dynamics. Remember, if you know how to make money, you want to be smart about your money choices, right? Now, guess what? This is not to complicate anything. This is to drive home the point that if someone, I'm going to leave you with a book, right? Go ahead and get a book that is called Money, Wealth, and Life Insurance. That book I love, I love, I love. It's just a 20 minutes, 2-hour read. All right, for those of you that have Google Eyes, 20 minutes, but guess what? It's a 2-hour read. You want to read to understand, get a marker, mark things down. Large organizations didn't survive tough times by hoping things will get better. No, they didn't plan for disruptions. They used tools that work no matter what the economy was doing. If they could surpass what happened back in the days, what is happening right now is a repetition of what already happened. The only difference now is happening now and in your own time. One example talked about in that book, how companies like Disney focus on cash flow and protection, and not just on growth, right? When business slowed, they didn't panic. They just act to access their money. They had to protect the money. They had protection in place. They had time. Over time, using the strategy, it's not a get rich quick scheme, right? One of my business partners came to me and said, "Hey, his brother died last year. May so rest in peace." And during the funeral, everybody was doing it because he couldn't work, he couldn't do anything. You know what he did? He went into his cash value life insurance and he borrowed money, and he went and gave his brother a befitting burial. How about that? That you don't have to go to a bank, because a bank will require you bringing different things that will make you look like you don't qualify. You don't qualify because you're not good at making money, because of your habits. They use a system to determine who qualifies for what because of some money habit, because you were not taught. If you're coming from the diaspora or from abroad, right? You were not taught. You came in here when you were 30, some of you 40, 50, you're already late. Most of us that came in here when we were in our late 20s, right? We're still finding out to understand the system. Right? The system is supposed to keep you impoverished. It's supposed to keep you coming to them to collect crumbs. You need to know what the 1%ers do. They go ahead and learn how to master the money game. Now, guess what? When this thing happened, Disney World was able to build back. You go to Disney World today, you're enjoying something that a man that had vision, a man that listened, a man that didn't think of today, a man that put a seed in the ground, left it and knew that this seed will grow someday. Now he's long gone, but his name is still there. He gives your family pleasure. Even you as an adult, you go there and you have fun, right? Somebody did something. Go pick that book up, right? If you don't have that book, contact the person that invited you. They have a soft copy. They give it to you, and your life would change. It's not about praying and all that. It's about putting the right things, doing the right things at the right time, right? Now, guess what? Big companies, smart families do the same thing. They don't have billions, right? They do the same thing. They do the right plans. So I want to let you understand something, right? You want to be able to close that gap, do the right things that you want to do. Let's leave you with this today. Nobody planned to struggle. People struggle because they didn't expect life to interrupt. Planning doesn't mean you're scared. It means you care. You care about your future. You care about yourself. Why I'm saying this now, it drives home the point, because I have a lot of people. I interact with people, so I'm emotional about it, because I see people say these things, and it gives me that fear that, hey, I don't want to be on the other side in future. No, I don't want to have to be on the other side. I want to be on the other side, on the right side, not on the other side, on the wrong side, saying, had I known. It means you're thinking ahead. The goal is not to be rich. The goal is to be okay, to keep calm, to keep your family standing, to have options. So this is where I draw my curtain. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for caring enough to pass this message on. It's going to be dropped on Facebook. You can share the YouTube page or whatever as well. Share this with somebody, right? Be your brother's keeper, right? I remain Helen Orejobi, your licensed financial professional. And I know that whatever the case, right, you will finish well, and everything will work out for you. So go ahead, contact whoever invited you, and do right by yourself and keep the ball rolling. We'll see you at the other side. All right. Remain blessed. Do have a wonderful day. For those of us right here on the channel, on the webinar, I want to say thank you so much. I see now that we're about 325 of us. I'm super excited to have you here. Share the value. Go back to who invited you, and we'll see you at the top. Remain blessed. Bye-bye.